Hey there YouTube, Leapmaster here, bringing you a video review. Today, I'll be taking a look at the 1/24 scale Blockbuster from Hexa Gear. And this is the Blockbuster in the rose colors. You see the rose sitting in here. And these are the colors that the rose rides. There is a other color variant of this. That's like the standard variant. It's kind of like green and boring and drab. Let me see if I can find it here in the instructions and show you. It's weird, but not altogether too bad. And something I love about these Hexa Gear kits is that the instructions are entirely in color. You see it's like plain gray, and this one's like weird green, gray. Like this is the rose custom. You see it's got like the little decals in the window. Unfortunately, you don't get decals with these kits. I wish that they did come with them. It'd be neat. But you don't get them. As well as that stuff in the manual and the kit itself, you do get a little postcard, which I am loving these. They're a neat little addition. They're not necessary, but it reminds me of when old Master Grades from Bandai would have the big inserts of the finished kit. This is just like photography work of the unit from the fiction, which is very nice. Looks really cool in this backdrop here. You see it flying around. And this is a flight unit. Unlike the Ray Blade, this thing is actually a flight unit. And it's pretty neat. As you can probably tell, it's based off of a Kabuto beetle or Hercules beetle or a rhino beetle, I don't remember. And it's got these two big pointy bits on the top here. They're very sharp, so be careful. But you got the big carapace, the bug feet. These are supposed to be like its wings. These are its thrusters. And the big horn, which is the dominant feature of this type of a beetle. There is the other one, the Motor Punisher, which is based off of a Kabuto beetle. No, this is a Kabuto. The other one is a Kuwagata beetle, the one with the pincer face. That one looks really cool. I do have that, and I can't wait to build it. And then we also have really good color separation on this kit. Not perfect. There are parts on here that still need to be painted, like the gray on the top of the thruster binders here. There's a little bit of wiring and piping that can be picked out. But that's all just like detail work, and out of the box it looks pretty great. The construction's actually really fun. I liked putting together the dome here. The dome is all one big piece, and you put the yellow trim around it. Thankfully, you don't have to paint any of that. You do have to paint the handles here though. These are like secondary handles for your Hexa Gear units to hold on to. Now then, with that out of the way, let's go over the features and articulation real quick. There are a few pre-painted pieces. The big ones are going to be these blades up here. All the silver is pre-painted. Right here, it's actually a separate piece, but it is painted silver over what I'm assuming is like a duller silver plastic. I haven't looked at it in a while. I don't remember what the nub looks like. The camera right here is actually painted. The blue and the pink right there are painted. And I believe that's it on this kit. I do have one problem with the fit on this, and that's this hatch doesn't like to stay closed all the time. Kind of have to bring it like this and just kind of squeeze it together like that. Hope that stays together. And it is very neat in terms of design. It's very compact compared to the Ray Blade, and it's alright. Now for its articulation, which it does have quite a bit, considering what it is. Let's move this down out of the way first. The camera unit right here can rotate a little bit, but be careful, it will split on you, as you can see. These little bits right here will rotate, don't know why. You got some ports on the bottom of them. This right here will rotate as well. That just got loose for no reason. Well, yeah, that'll rotate. You get a joint right here. You get an extension joint right there. which is pretty good, and the rose is falling apart in the back there. Let's actually take the rose out so I can show you this, but the cockpit does open there and there. The rose just sits in there nice and snug. She's gonna sit right there on the side, very lewd. The cockpit right here will actually rotate forward on the hinge joint right there. No like side to side rotation there, although, but that's pretty good. You can get like a good lunging attack with the claws here. Doesn't really move back any. The binders on the side are on ball joints that can rotate and wiggle, and it's really neat. You can have it be like a VTOL and be like that in a whoosh. Although it's very, very front heavy, as you can see. If I hold it up like this, it's like gonna bend forward because of the horn. The legs are on joints right here that go into hex ports right there. So they move in and out like that. Careful before they split apart. There is a joint right here, and right here, as well as at the little toe. So you can get lots of movement out of these little feet. And it actually shows you using them as like a claw like thing, which I think would be neat, seeing these things running around like construction units holding like big pieces of building or whatever in between their legs, moving around. That would be cool. Now in terms of articulation and what it does, that's pretty much it. Let's get it situated here so it'll stand at least. That's one thing that's a huge problem with bug toys in general that have multi-jointed legs, is getting them to stand on all their legs. Now that for the stuff that it comes with, right out of the box you get a few bits. You get this thing right here, and what this is got a joint right there. What you can do is you can take the entire cannon off. Let me see if I can do this on camera. There we go. Without breaking it. That's another problem for this thing. The shell for the cockpit hatch goes right here, and it sometimes gets loose from the joint. But you can put this here, and now you can put items on there, like little accessories, like this, the Vorex driver. See, right there, now it's got a big ass drill arm for a proboscis. And that's cool. I love this little accessory. The Kodo Bukiya weapons are pretty neat. That is a slight problem. It's only a problem when you take these bits off, but we're going to go ahead and put the cannon back on because I like it. Oops, that's what I'm talking about right there. That will come right off for no reason. But we'll put the cannon on right here. And that was advertised on the box, so that's why I'm showing that. There's a lot of other pieces that aren't shown in the instructions, so I will show you those as well, show you what you get as extras. There we go. Kind of a mess. You do also get these bits right here, which are little hex extenders. You can put them pretty much anywhere that has a hex joint on it, but what you're supposed to do is pull the thrusters off, put these here, come on, I gotta shave that one down, but you put them there, and now you can put Kodo weapons on that, on the side, which is pretty funny, pretty neat to have like a big ass drill weapon on the side of this little bug ship, which is funny to me. I think it's funny. Okay, that's gonna be a pain. And got it. Pulled the entire joint off. But actually, while I have this off, I'll show you this thing also has some hidden abilities in that you can take trusty little part separator here from Hexa gear. take that and lift this piece up. Come on. There we go. And you reveal a port. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. So you can add even more weapons to that, which is really cool. I can see a lot of great customization from this. The only problem with that is that these ball joints are mad loose. Like mad stupid loose. Like, hold on. If you were to put some accessory or a weapon in there, it's probably gonna weigh this thing down and wiggle all over the damn place. So you'd have to tighten up that ball joint. And like I said, you get a couple of those. You get more than just the two. You get these two little metal joints. They're not metal, but the pins inside are. That you got with the ray blade. So you can use these however you please. Not sure how you'd use them on this one particularly. It doesn't tell you. You also get this piece. Just the one. And what that's for is you come up here on the back. You can take this off. And this little Hexa gear removal part thing, really useful. Not worth the money in my opinion. You can find cheaper ones made of plastic. But these parts are also useful. I'll show you that in a second. But this will go in here, like so. And now you got a peg on the back here that you can put a weapon on, which is neat. I wish they gave you one for each side, but they only give you one for the one side, which is kind of stupid, considering all the extra bits that you get. And when I say all the extra bits, I mean all the extra bits. This is something that happened with the Ray Blade as well. We got a bunch of hex polycaps and an absolute ton of joints, like a ton of them. Like I could probably make a whole new robot out of them, which is not bad, but that's extra plastic that you're paying for, so it's a kind of a double-edged sword thing going on. Now then, for other little features that this thing does, let's bring the rows in here. And you see this is how the little bun hair is useful, because it doesn't get in the way while she's inside of the ship. And what you can do, you can take these off, like straight off, and if those get stuck in there and you have one of these, you just take that apart, push that in there, and it pushes out the parts here. What you do is you just rotate it and slide it in. Now you have little weapons that she can hold. They're kind of stupid. They're like wee giant weapons that... look at that. Look at that. Whoops. You know who can hold them? The Pawn A1 Sentinel. Not the Sentinel. Damn it. The Parapawn. He can hold it. Sort of. They're just really heavy, so... for these tiny little hands. Which is a shame. And another thing you can do, for this guy's weapons for some reason are the only ones advertised to do this. The Rose's weapons cannot do this. But, let's move this stuff aside. You can take the canopy, open it up, and the blade can store right there. But if you do store the blade there, you can store a bunch of them. But if you do store the blade there, you can't store the gun, which will store right here. And that can close up, so if you want to store the gun there, you can. It fell off. Ignore that. But yeah. Let me see, am I forgetting anything? There's a lot you can do with this kit. A lot you can do with the Hexagear kits in general. These things are pretty fun. I'm actually looking forward to getting some of the little booster sets, which are just like a bunch of joints and different armor parts that you can use as add-ons and weapons for your Hexagear units. Like I said, the biggest problem with this guy is the fiddliness of the legs, but they're articulate enough that you can get over it. We'll just have the Rose sit here in front of it. So you can see the Rose, you can see the Parapawn. Let's get in the Ray Blade here. If I can reach for him, I'm blocking the light. I know, I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me. But here we have the Ray Blade, which sits smaller, shorter, but is overall a lot more complex and a lot bigger in terms of mass and price point, which is understandable because it is a giant dog bike, whereas that one's just a hovering bug. And in case you're wondering why I didn't show a transformation of any sort, there is none. It kind of just flies around like this with its legs tucked in. That's the transformation. So, you know, can't fail it. Overall, I do really like it. Out of the 2 units that I have so far, I think the Ray Blade is more fun, just because it's a giant wolf bike. But this is also a really good kit. It's really fun. It comes with a absolute ton of extra parts. You can do whatever you want with. Although that does